What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So Usher Raymond had an amazing halftime performance. Did y'all hear me? It was so good. First, he got 2 additional minutes longer than any other performer, which he absolutely killed and deserved. He had a catalog of songs that he couldn't even cover them all, right? But he did about 15 seconds per song. And it was so wonderful to see that he incorporated so many other artists and talents and visuals. I mean, it was amazing. He gave us, going back to Josephine Baker style, to the skating rinks, to rock and roll, to the Black College Band. Shout out to Jackson State. Okay, he had the Noops up there, Kappa Alpha Psi, the Divine Nine, hip hop, everything. He had Ludacris right here, Lil Jon. Okay, Usher did a phenomenal job. He kicked it off with Caught Up, right? The fifth and final single from his 2004 album Confessions. And then he turned it to, his 8701 player out anthem, You Don't Have to Call. Then he did Superstar. But what I loved most about his 13-minute performance at the Apple Music SuperBowl Halftime Show was that he incorporated, so many other artists into his show, right? Because he could have just did it by himself, right? Like Rihanna, I don't think she had anybody else helping her. Um, but he didn't do that. And he brought Alicia Keys out, and everybody was talking about her first note that just sounded like me a second ago. Because, well, I'm not a singer, but I think she was probably really nervous. But yeah, some other people were saying that, she keeps reaching for a note, even though she wrote the song, which she is a songwriter, a brilliant pianist. We're not going to take that away from her, okay? But word on the curb, folks is calling her the Little Mermaid because ever since she got with Swiss Beats, the vocals have not been the same. I mean, there's truth to that, okay? So perhaps she could, maybe change the range a bit, or maybe it's just because she's getting older. Our bodies change, our voice changes, whatever the case may be. Baby girl, that note that you keep reaching for, it might just be a little bit out of reach. But anyway, Usher right here, he is messy. He is messy. It is giving Keke Palmer all over again in the Las Vegas residency. Okay, I know somewhere Darius is like, "But you a mom?" No, okay. They was clowning on Twitter, right? They like Swiss Beats is somewhere looking like, see, and this is exactly what Darius was talking about. Okay, Usher is got his eyes closed. He has his both arms really wrapped around and embracing Alicia Keys. Okay, messy boots. But anyway, he was in Dolce and Gabbana. I mean, he killed it, right? He had the circular stage. You could hear his range. He was singing, he was dancing, he was roller skating. Okay. Usher is in phenomenal shape. He made sure that we saw that V, right? Because he said even beforehand, he was letting us know that he was getting his diet right and he was, working out because he had already he just came off his Las Vegas residency recently. And he did such a good job there that they asked him to come back, right? Because, he said that he was humble to do so. But I love the fact that he brought Atlanta with him, right? And that's exactly what he kept repeating. Like, I'm doing this for A-Town. And then, we got here Ludacris. They was both saying, shout out to A-Town. And they closed it with Yeah, which is a huge song. And recently, I just found out that he initially didn't want to do it, but was talked into doing it by L.A. Reid. And even though L.A. Reid is um, under investigation because of past accusations, his character might be questionable, but his ear is not because Yeah is a banger and it's one of my favorite songs from Usher. So, um, yeah, two things can be true at once, right? questionable character, but remarkable ear for music with L.A. Reid. But anyway, I love the Las Vegas showgirls, right, with the blue feathers, and he's like, we made it. This is for you. He was very high energy. I love that. And then we did like the slow jam. He slowed it down. We're loving this club, right? He had the noops up there. Okay, shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi. Nobody dropped their canes. Okay. Like that was huge. I don't know how many times they probably practiced that, but he was up there, shoulder shimmy with the kappas. And I know Bootsy is somewhere mad, like, okay, what is this, right? Um, but then he did, confessions. He did nice and slow. Of course, again, we have Alicia up there with my boo. And then we had her on stage. She killed that guitar with You Got It Bad when he went into that. And she did the guitar riff. She killed it. It was so phenomenal. She did an amazing job. Then he went into his skating routine, okay, with the highlight OMG. So he turned the stadium into like a party zone. And then, of course, everybody was hyped when they saw Lil Jon. There was Will I Am. And then, Lil Jon gave him some time to take those skates off, which he did like amazingly fast. With Turn Down for What, he got the crowd hype doing that. And then, of course, he comes out, Usher, after he took off the skates with Yeah. So he turned around his baseball cap. And he's up there singing with Luda. And of course, shout out to Jackson State University. Okay, the Sonic Boom of the South. Their marching band was tearing up the field. And if you guys saw, they spelled out his name, right? Usher. RAYMOND. Y'all know Usher loves how to spell. Listen, if you wasn't gonna learn nothing else from Usher, you was gonna learn how to spell his name. Okay. And that's word on the curve is Sesame Street. And there's a clip on my social media with him singing with Sesame Street and Elmo. They're going through the alphabet. So he loves the alphabet. But I did love seeing Jackson State spell out his name and do the different formations. So shout out to the HBCUs. But yeah, he just said that, he wrapped up his Las Vegas residency after 100 sold out shows. He is such an impressive performer. Can I just say that? Like Usher, Beyonce, they have both been in the game since they were teenagers. Like, what an amazing time to be alive that we could see these two phenomenal musicians come into their own and be at the top of their game. Because Usher said he said that on the field, he's like, people never thought that I would make it here, but we in here, shout out to my mom. This is for you. He's shouting out his family. And he blended all those elements of Atlanta history into his show. He says, quote, I've been able to bring a great deal of Atlanta and the melting pot it is musically and culturally to Las Vegas, he said during a press conference last week. And that's exactly what he did. From the polls to the Noops and, Jackson State, even though they're from Mississippi, but just the marching band element, that was a great thing that we loved about Baychella, right? Coachella. But when Beyonce did it, she hands down had the best show at Coachella. But that's exactly what he did. He brought all those elements, into the Super Bowl halftime show. And then he also have dropped his long-awaited 9th album titled Coming Home. And he's talking about the details of his past, present, and future tour that will kick off in Washington, D.C. August 20th. The tickets will go on sale at 10 a.m. on Monday. I know that's right, Usher. Shout out to you. Continue to, tour. He's going to do another Las Vegas residency. He is in his bag, and I'm not mad at it. They did an amazing job. Luda, Usher, Alicia. After that note, she was smooth sailing. Okay, Lil Jon, Will I Am. Jermaine Dupri was up there. But yeah, they all did a phenomenal job, and I'm so proud of him. So you guys let me know, are you buying his new album that's coming out, or that's already out? I'm sorry, his album's already out, but his tour is starts on August 20th in DC. So let me know if you guys are going to go to that. And yeah, Usher, you did an amazing job. Congratulations. Let me know your favorite parts of the Super Bowl halftime show. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I will see you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.